What's going on, everybody? Come on in. I know this is a bit impromptu. Shout out to all of you all. Finally able to get one live in. Couldn't go live yesterday. By the time I was done with work, I was exhausted. So we just chilled out and hang out over on Conscious channel. Make sure you guys go check out Conscious. She's another content creator that's keeping her foot on everybody's neck. Shout out to Conscious. How you doing, girl? Hope all is well with you. So y'all, for those who are new, I have, regular 9 to 5, still work during the week. And during the week, it is so hard to really, especially when I know I'm at my busiest, it's hard to plan these live streams without delaying and pushing it back and all the stuff. So if you notice, I haven't scheduled anything out for tonight or tomorrow yet, but I'm going to set some things in motion for tomorrow and this weekend. Come on in and hit the like button, y'all. We got some stuff to look at. And I'm doing this because I want to. Because you have these, oh man, it's like so much is going on with this Karmelo Anthony thing. Now the FBI is doing a probe on a couple people that were assaulted because they just had supporters just go up to him and beat him up. Like, what? Then his parents are being looked into for how they spent the money. They raised over $600,000. And you still have if you want to, I'm not trying to tell anybody who they should and should not support, but why not at least look at what a real brawl looks like before you keep trying to force people to go into some alternate reality to look at video evidence that does not exist. There was no group fight. There was no fight. Nobody was being jumped. No brawl. No nothing. So I wanted to show you all what a real brawl looks like. Because, oh Lord, these Karmelo Anthony supporters are something else. Now all of us not trying to go to that alternate reality. I refuse to do it. And then they're out here getting violent with other people. His fans are out here getting violent. Like they're showing the level of violence that they have. You don't go out and just attack somebody because they don't agree with you. When the hell we start doing that? That's so savage. Do we not have freedom of speech and expression and the right to have our own independent thought? The right to disagree without somebody feeling like they got to be attacked? People going to jail for that dumb nonsense. It's the same thing I said about the doxing. It's a cybercrime. Don't get mad when you get reported to the feds for doxing somebody. They dox a judge. You got people out here doxing judges. It's not right for anyone that supports Karmelo Anthony or anyone that supports Austin Metcalf to go out and dox anybody. All it did was just add more aggravation to all this stuff. So in all that getting an understanding, and that's what we're about to get. We're about to get an understanding so that people can see what a real brawl looks like in a stadium. Because, oh Lord, I expect people to kind of assume, oh, yeah, Lady Luck, that video could have been altered and edited. Yeah, but it has to be corroborated by what the witnesses stated in their testimony. These are coming from people that didn't go to law school. You can't make this up. Y'all ready? So we're going to get into this. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, I uploaded this video here. First, we're going to... Come on! But I uploaded a video where it's a lot more clear, no commentary, just so people can look at what occurred without anyone giving you a leading heads up on anything. You can just look at it and see for yourself what is transpiring, right? Because I don't know, no one is going to influence me to think any other way. I see what the evidence is showing me, and that's it. That's how I formulate my opinion on, based on the facts and the evidence and the law. But that's why I uploaded that video, so that no one has to hear any commentary about my thoughts on anything. You can see it for yourself. And then if you know what a real brawl looks like, you can do a side-by-side comparison. So that's what we're going to do. So shout out to all of you all. Hit that like button. Had to just do a little intro. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I know it's late, but it's just kind of impromptu. Can we get our Conscious's YouTube channel put in the chat, please? The channel link. Make sure I go check out. She's calling out these scammers and race baiters and all this stuff. All these people trying to go out here think they're gonna profit off of his appeal when they're gonna be horribly disappointed. Appeals don't work the way these people think they work. When I say these people, I mean the people that are sitting here denying the fact that Karmelo Anthony was found guilty and convicted. He's in prison for 35 years. He murdered someone. He murdered Austin Metcalf. He murdered him. So it's hard to say, well, this is not what a fight looks like without really showing it, right? People can Google, but whatever. We're here for it. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. Oh my God, y'all. What's going on, How you doing, honey? Shout out to the mods. Tina Marie, how you doing? Is it Christian? Lol. Okay. Francisca, how you doing, honey? Y'all, shout out to my mods. I'm out of the bushes today. I see you, girl. Oh man, can you please anybody drop you Conscious's YouTube channel link in the chat, and we'll make sure we'll get it highlighted. You guys go make sure you check out. Man, I was laughing for 15 minutes straight. Well, that big man song is something else. Oh boy. I had fun. I thought it was a load of fun. And let's see here. We got here Jeff Aloha, CC up in here, Colleen. Oh, Christian says, I remember that clown face and the Monopoly Umar Johnson in his Sunday beat. Best. Okay. Hello, people come in and hit that like button. Do what Francisca says. Shout out to all of you all. I thank y'all so much for tuning in. I have the best smiles on YouTube, y'all. Never let anybody tell you anything any differently. CC up in here. I see you, Mama Sage. How you doing, honey? Juju up in here. Lord Footage. I see a whole new outcome of the Mellow video. You were supposed to email me. Did you email me? I didn't catch any emails. Can you email me so I can just know who to at least be able to catch add your email address? Can you email me? Lady Luck Club LLC at yahoo.com. Because I told you I don't mind you showing any evidence that you have. I just need to know who you are. So if you don't mind, just email me. That way I can look at the information and vet it and kind of plan to make sure you come up the next time we go live. Because I'm not going to be long on this. I have a Candice video to do too. And I still have to work tomorrow. So I have to plan things over here. We've already been burnt in the LLC. Malware, you have ruined it for everybody. Because when you don't do your vetting, you just kind of go with what people pull up to you, sometimes that can backfire. I've learned that lesson. I said never again. I'm to maintain any integrity and dignity on my platform. I have to vet. That's one of the main reasons why, if you don't mind, send me an email if you want me to check out your video. I see you have a YouTube channel. And then that way we can kind of make sure the information you're providing is on the up and up. I'm not requiring that you show your face to my audience. Just I have to know who you are. I have to be able to vet. If that makes sense. So you got to be careful what you put out there. That's why I do play these videos so y'all can see for yourself. Give you all the links and the sources so you can go and check out information for yourself. And as always, fact check me. Does that make sense? What's going on, Alita? Hope all is well either way. Please email me if you can, Lord Footage. I appreciate that. That'd be awesome. All right, y'all. I'm ready to get started. Y'all ready? Grant says also she kept his hands to himself. Yeah. When you tell somebody, touch me, see what happens, punch me, see what happens, you're asking for them to put their hands on you. Yeah, no, we got the video. It was not worth him being stabbed over. Tammy says, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much, Sam. How you doing? Juju, y'all good? Work, boo? I know, right? Jury is on why he was jumped. Austin fell into the knife. Videos of fake. Ja, let me tell you something. Calling the videos fake does not mean that they're not forensic specialists that could authenticate it. Plus, video evidence oftentimes have to corroborate testimony. That is how evidence is admitted into a case. Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. Everything that I say, you can research in Google. You admit video evidence into a case through testimony. And testimony is also evidence. So what you cannot do is sit here and speak on behalf of 20 witnesses that did not see a brawl, that did not see him get jumped, and they saw him stab Austin Metcalf. The video evidence is simply corroborating the testimony itself. And if there were any objections to the evidence itself, Karmelo's Anthony should have objected to it. It's funny how he didn't do that. You have to have a legal reason to even provide the objection. Simply saying because, Your Honor, I think it might be edited and made up is not a legal objection. These things don't work in the court of law the way y'all think it should be. When you're sitting here saying, oh, the video's faking. This is faking. That's not real. And oh, they sped it up. Okay. Then that means that you expect the appellate team to point that out, right? Funny how they hadn't said that. You know, because the bar license attorneys that went to law school would have said these videos are not authenticated. They're not real. You can't ignore 20 witnesses either. That's not going to happen in the court of law. So you can have your whole little tantrum all over YouTube. Don't matter. None of this stuff that Karmelo Anthony's people that support him and think he's innocent, all that stuff y'all coming up with, that's not work in court. Ain't God good? Y'all, we get started on here. Johnny Walker Dredd, check your email for you if you don't mind. Let me know what's going on Monday. Y'all, we got a lineup going on July 1st. Ryan Morrow will be in the Lady Luck Club July 1st, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're kicking off the month of July with fantastic collabs. Johnny Walker Dredd is up in here, honey. Check your email. Let me know if July 6th is good for you. And Edie Marie. I sent her back a date and time for July 3rd. So we're kicking off July on a good note. And I still would love to have Lyle Culpepper up in here. So I'm excited about all of the upcoming collabs that we're going to have. Talking about a myriad of things. We're here for it. Y'all, let's get to it. You responded, okay, cool. Because court is rational. Exactly. Evidence is evidence. 20 witnesses all said there was no brawl. But I'm about to show y'all what a brawl is in a stadium. So y'all can have it clear. Peace out. Because I love proving a point in an epic fashion. Hit the 4 when you all can see in here. Let's get to it.
Come on! Oh, yeah!
I see that.
Let's go! Oh! 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 Oh, the Bills made me want to shout too, boys! Yeah! Oh, man!
Did y'all see what happened in the beginning?
Come on! Oh, yeah! Let's go!
Y'all saw how dude almost fell down. See, because the stadium, whether you have a row of bleachers or a row of seats, this stadium, none of these stadiums are designed for people to just have a whole brawl. Steps are not that wide. They're very narrowed and very dangerous. Most outdoor stadiums made of pure concrete. So even if you fall and you tumble, downward, gravity is going to pull you down to a point where it might almost be unstoppable. The only thing that might stop you are the seats or people. You get enough momentum and you fall down a row of bleachers in a stadium, you're going to go down a couple flights of stairs. Y'all saw how that man almost fell back? This is what a brawl looks like in a stadium. You see arms being thrown, people punching, pushing, all kinds of stuff. And you have more than, what, 2 or 3 people involved? Because Karmelo Anthony said he had to allegedly defend himself, because he didn't, against 2 or 3 boys. What do you see going on with the people around the fight? Around the actual people fighting? What is everybody else doing? I want y'all to keep this in mind. Keep it in mind. What do you see everybody else doing?
Oh, let's go! Oh! Oh! Oh!
What y'all see?
Oh,
Somebody fell down the stairs. Y'all saw that? Somebody fell down the stairs. Now, whether he was trying to break it up or get in it, number 34, y'all see that there? Look at this. Boom.
Oh,
Because this is not designed for a fight, especially amongst multiple people. I didn't see any of this happening in that track stadium between Karmelo Anthony and 3 other boys. I ain't see none of this. 20 witnesses did not see this. Because, knowledge is power. In all that getting, get some understanding. So in order for you to have an understanding of things, you need to be knowledgeable of it. Can I get an amen and hit the 4? You got to know what you're looking at when you're talking about a brawl amongst 3 or 4 big boys that look like grown men. These kids are big nowadays. My boy is taller than me. It's not hard. I stand tall at 5 feet. But whatever. Look at these solid dudes up here. What do you think is going to happen? We saw one person almost fall. Another person actually fell. Then you see other people either coming in to break it up, or they're trying to be a part of it, or they're stepping away, because see, what we have is called a fight or flight response. Does that make sense? Your fight or flight response is going to tell you either to get away to protect yourself from being hurt or harmed, or you might end up in that fight mode where you want to either fight or defend, or at least try to break it up. But what you don't see is everybody sitting down. Did someone pull out a knife and stab somebody either? Because you don't see that here. This is a brawl.
the Bills made me want to shout too, boys. Yeah.
Look at that.
Oh, man.
See, that look like what? 2 people on one dude right there towards the end? Because I'm still trying to help me understand now. Help me understand. Because maybe, Karmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf had a virtual fight in their minds. Perhaps they were zapped off to an alternate reality. They were put on a different planet. And then they had a fight and came back within the blink of an eye. And we all missed it. Because this is a fight. This is a brawl.
Made me want to shout too, boys.
Does it?
Yeah.
Look at this. Either you breaking it up or you're in it. Didn't nobody have to take time to say, touch me, see what happens, punch me, see what happens? Did y'all hear anybody say that? Y'all hear anybody say that? No one had to say that. They just start throwing blows. Let's go to another one.
Well, Heather,
Lady Luck, that might not be the best example, because it's not raining or anything and blah blah blah. Oh, okay, cool. Because y'all see it's wet out here. Child. This is Jacksonville Jaguars game in Florida. Oh, it rains down all the time there in Florida. You might as well expect that, especially during certain seasons of the year.
The players weren't the only ones taking hits during the Jaguars-Steelers game Saturday. This video of a fight between fans has been watched more than 4 million times.
What y'all see here? Look at this dude right here in the black shirt. I want y'all to pay close attention to what's happening. Because, see, these bleachers and these chairs in a stadium is not designed for a brawl. Somebody is bound to fall. Because this is what a brawl looks like in a stadium. Now imagine these seats being bleachers. And it's wet. Somebody's about to fall. Are they not? I just want y'all to see this for yourself. This is a true anatomy of a brawl. Y'all see anybody saying, touch me, see what happens. Punch me, see what happens. Anybody get stabbed here? I ain't seen nobody pull out a knife or none of that. They just throwing fists and throwing blows. People using their legs and feet. Somebody threw a drink. This is what I meant by you expect things to be thrown. You expect a whole lot of shoving. You expect this crowd swell. So now you have people getting in. They're either going to fight or they're going to flee from it because of the threat of harm and injury. Y'all hear anybody say, touch me and see what happens, punch me and see what happens? They ain't have time for that. Because if you're going to fight somebody and jump somebody and do all that stuff and have a brawl, you're just going to start throwing blows. You know, in this right here, guess what? No one got stabbed in the chest. Now, I'm not saying I condone violence or fighting. I don't. But I want you all to see apples to apples of what a real brawl looks like versus what Karmelo Anthony claimed he had to defend himself from and was somehow afraid of his life. I was so in fear of my life because, I was telling them to touch me and punch me and see what happened. Then I immediately became fearful of my life after provoking them to touch me and punch me and see what happened. And then I had a knife. Karmelo Anthony had the advantage. He brought a knife to a fist fight, a shoving match. That's like bringing a gun to a knife fight. He already had the upper hand. I just want you all to see what a real brawl looks like in a stadium.
On Facebook, identified himself as the person who took the first shot.
That's what happens when you're in a brawl in a stadium. You're going to fall. Somebody's going to fall. We just saw a video where 2 people fell down the stairs. This dude right here fell over a chair. Because this is how brawls are. That's why I'm sitting here like, what are people looking at nowadays when it comes to a brawl? Imagine these kids being athletes. And who knows how old these kids, these dudes are, right? But y'all want to see a brawl? Imagine this being a high school stadium. As a matter of fact, there are plenty of videos of brawls that have broken out in the stadium during a high school football game. Plenty of videos like that. Y'all see anybody pull out a knife and get stabbed?
He says a group was aggressive, insulting,
look at that,
in his seats,
arms throwing
on purpose.
You can't make this up. Somebody was throwing some beer or something. I don't know.
This video of a fight between fans has been
she threw something.
4 million
Somebody threw a bottle. Y'all saw the bottle.
Facebook identified himself.
This is a brawl. You expect items to be thrown, arms and fists flying, legs and feet. People feel like they got to get the upper hand in it. Pulling on clothes. You got people swelling in to either try to break it up or you got people trying to actually get away from it. Because who sits still while there's a whole brawl happening right behind you? Oh, we got the video coming up next.
As the person who took the first shot,
Karmelo
he
Anthony
says a group was aggressive, insulting, sat in his seats, and bumped into him on purpose.
Look how they falling over chairs. Who got time? I want y'all to understand it. Who has time? Who has time to say, touch me, see what happens? Punch me, see what happens? If you're in a brawl. You ain't got time for that. You actually talking about somebody jumping you. You're fighting. You don't have the time to sit here and provoke somebody. What you mean? But see, this is what you expect to see. A whole commotion, bodies moving all over the place, arms thrown, feet, people falling down the bleachers, falling into seats. That's what you expect to see when you see a brawl in a stadium.
And says he just had shoulder surgery. Came to
Look at
a
these
point where
two.
I finally got tired
Because you
of
can't make this up. Now let's go to this thing that happened here. This is my video. Yeah, let's go over here to this brawl. Hold on. Actually, I'm gonna pull up the one on X because this is a much better version of this. I'm gonna try to see this here because this gives us the little icon here. We're gonna start it where it says 3 minutes later the attack happens. Because see, we know what a brawl looks like in a stadium, right? Remember now, punches being thrown, arms flailing all over the place, people kicking, throwing objects, a couple people falling in chairs, rolling down the damn stairs. You know, because this stadium is not designed and built for people to just go up here and fight. You don't have a whole lot of leg or room space and anything. These stairs are steep and it's wet outside. Somebody's gonna slip. So I want you all to see this because I want y'all to know the difference. What's going on, Tavares? How you doing, honey? Conservative said, I still believe he went there with purpose and may have been gang initiation. Who knows? He shouldn't have been there. If he was suspended from school, allegedly, I'm not going to another school just for a track meet. He wouldn't have been able to run anyway because he's suspended. You're not even permitted to participate in school sports activities if you're suspended from school. Because then how are you actually, how's a child being punished? You get suspended from school, but somehow they still let you play sports. No, you got to sit down. I got kids in high school. That's not how that works. But then he brings a knife onto a school campus. Funny how that brawl happened, though, in that state in these two videos we just watched. No one pulled out a knife and stabbed anybody in the chest. Worst case scenario, you get into a brawl and you get pulled apart. Everybody just, get kicked out and you're told to go home. Worst case scenario, you get charged with battery and maybe assault, depending on how you do it. But everybody still go home alive. This right here led to a whole death. He chose to go over there. So if he's trying to be a part of a gang, you understand what type of charge that's it. That steps it up a notch. That's an indication of some organized crime. So I don't know if that's gonna help anything with that if you throw something like that in. But this right here, y'all let me know when the brawl starts. Because we know what a brawl looks like in a stadium. Tell me when the brawl happens. They were sitting here for a whole 3 minutes. From when he got over there, he enters the tent. 20 witnesses provided testimony as evidence in saying that there was no brawl. He was not being jumped. He was not acting in self-defense. Video evidence simply corroborates testimony. Let's see here. He go over there and say, he said, oh, happy black ass down there, and he didn't have to go. I don't see any figure. Y'all see fists thrown and bodies being moved, somebody kicking and throwing water bottles and not. Y'all see any of this happen? Boy, there's something else. It's like night and day from what we just got to see. Hold on, maybe my eyes deceive me. My eyes doth deceive me. No, Lady Luck, you gotta come to the planet Mars to see what we saw. You can't see it right now. You got to put on your alien sunglasses. Oh, okay. I gotta listen. We gotta go. We gotta go back. Let me show y'all now. Look what you expect to see. What? Because this is something else.
Says he just had shoulder.
Look how they cleared that whole area out. So the people that are there are either fighting or trying to break it up. Otherwise, people start fighting, you're going to get away from it. If you're not involved in the fight, the expectation is that anyone around this is going to get away from it, right? Fight or flight response. Keep that in mind. Because this is what you expect to see. Well, these two dudes over here, they putting each other on chairs, and look at all this. Look at this. You can't make this stuff up. Well, y'all can see this now. Look at that. These two men, boy, they like children. I'm just saying, boy, this is. You see bodies flipping over chairs. Everybody throwing fists. Yeah, y'all see this? I'm just trying to get y'all to see what a real brawl in a stadium looks like and what you expect to see when there are 2 or 3 big ass boys that look like grown men actually fighting each other. Did anyone get stabbed in the chest? Let me know if y'all see that. It's apples to apples. This is a stadium. All you got to do is take away the chairs and put bleachers there. Because we expect to see, he said he was jumped. Who jumped him? Because I expect to see a real fight. If you can jump. Y'all see how you got 2, 3 people ganging up on this one person? That's a jump. He got jumped. You see the dude in the black shirt, he being jumped. He got one down, but he being jumped. 2, 3 dudes swinging and punching on him. But anyhow, boy, this is something else. This has got to be the most calm gang up jumping on somebody that I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't see nobody punching, swinging, kicking, nothing. Is this a virtual fight? Maybe I need to get some VR glasses. Maybe I need to get some VR glasses. Because, this whole brawl is happening and, wow. Well, this is one of the most calm fights I've ever witnessed in my whole life. Boy, you compare, oh, man. Oh, in the bleachers, they swinging and stuff and beating each other. Nobody took time out to stab nobody either. Straight fists. Things been thrown. Now you imagine it. Look at this. Look at this. You got 2, 3 dudes ganging up on one guy here. So Karmelo Anthony said, I'm this guy in the black shirt. This happened to me with 3 other dudes in a tent I didn't have to sit at. This happened to me. Yeah, well, because, boy, this is the most calm brawl fight jumping ever in history. This should be in the Guinness Book of Records for the most calm jumping you will never, ever witness ever. Because, he wasn't jumped. 20 witnesses will not allow anyone to deter them from what they witnessed in reality here on Earth. Johnny Walker Drake, we got to get our alien sunglasses. Because, we got to tap into an alternate reality to see this big ass brawl happen. I don't see nobody getting jumped. I don't see fists flying. I don't see anybody fighting, pushing, shoving. I'm not seeing any of that. He said this was all happening to him. Boy, this is calm as hell. Who gets jumped sitting down? You get jumped sitting down? Nobody's surrounding you and actually stand over you punching and stuff? Because, they're not doing this. They're not doing this stuff. They ain't doing none of this. I don't see none of this happen. This dude is actually being jumped. Look at it. Wow. Because wild. Boy, this is wild. Look at that. They're so out of control. Y'all see that happen? I don't see no fist flying, no feet kicking, none of that. Nobody fell down the bleachers. Where you see this at? Where y'all see this at? Where is this damn so-called I got jumped? When does that happen? Because no one's being jumped. No one is fighting. There's no brawl. Oh, I was surrounded. When he voluntarily went to this tent that he did not have to go sit at? When did he get surrounded? You went to a tent where there were already kids sitting there. And then you said that you were jumped. He used that specific term. And me knowing what being jumped looks like, what you expect to see is a bunch of people fighting, shoving, throwing fists. Somebody's going to fall down the bleachers. These kids here in this, and I want y'all to pay attention to these two rows here. You see this kid in the yellow? Hit the 4 if y'all can see this person in the yellow shirt. Hit the 4 if y'all can see that. Because see, the row that Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony sitting on is this back row back here. You have 1, 2, 3 rows of other kids. Wouldn't they have gotten out of the way if they were fighting? Wouldn't their fight and flight response kick in? Help me out. There's a fight or flight response, right? So I would expect to see this kid in the yellow shirt at the very least, because that shirt is just so visible. It just stands out. So I'm going to use him as an example. I expect this kid in this yellow shirt or hoodie, whatever he got on, to get up. Either they're getting away from it or they're going to get in it and break it up. You see him sitting there. See, even when he got pushed, listen, look. Even when you see this little shoving match, these kids in the lower bleachers here, they still didn't move right away. Look at that. You saw the one push shove back. He got stabbed, and they still sitting here. Lord have mercy. They still sitting here. Who's fighting? Where's the I got jumped? When did that happen? 20 witnesses says he did not get jumped. Did y'all see somebody get jumped? Because, boy, like I said, you got to go to an alternate reality. When did this jumping occur? You think these kids... Oh, and thank you. I'm so glad. Sweet to welcome in. I'm so glad you said this. If these kids were fighting and that was a brawl, somebody would have been recording already. Because, see, the 2 videos we watched were fights that people recorded. Somebody's just recording this. Look at that arm swinging. People bent down and they being held. Somebody being pulled out. A couple people jumping in. That's what you expect to see when someone's being jumped in a brawl. All this commotion. People clearing out because they don't want to get hurt. We saw stuff being thrown. We saw liquids flying in the air. Because that's what you expect to see. Somehow I missed this ganging up on him. That one push up, and he's still sitting here. Why would these kids still be sitting here if 3 or 4 big boys in this row back here were fighting? They would have either got up, joined in the fight, broke it up, or walked away. Because your fight or flight response is not going to just let you sit there calmly and you see a big brawl fight going on. That's not how that shit works. 20 different witnesses said he was not being jumped. And because now we know what a brawl looks like in a stadium, this ain't it. Flatline characteristics you expect to see in a brawl. A lot more shoving, punches being thrown, kicking, objects being thrown, anything you can use to take down somebody. What I did not see in the 2 videos we saw with the real brawl was anyone pull out a knife and stab someone in the chest. Can somebody get this over to the prosecutors in the state of Texas? Let them know Lady Luck Club did a side-by-side comparison. Now you have a better argument to show, yeah, he definitely was not being jumped. Because here's what a jumping looks like. 2, 3 different good videos ought to do it. We're not going to an alternate reality to make up some nonsense that does not exist. Boy, you can't make this up. Don't forget hair pulling, okay? Hair pulling. I'm just saying here. Because, people forget in this reality here on Earth. No, this is a brawl. This is somebody being jumped. Y'all, 4 or 5 people just ganging in on one dude. That's a jumping. Boy, these kids nowadays, boy, maybe the definition of a jumping has changed since I was in high school. I feel old as hell. These jumpings are so calm and easy and nobody's running away. If he was in fear of his life, he could have just got up. You don't sit around a bunch of people that have you in fear of your life. You certainly don't tell them, touch me, see what happens, punch me, see what happens. No, you're not afraid of anything if you're willing to bring and invite a battery. Physical altercation. Funny how no one is moving. No one even got up. This whole time they've been sitting down. The only time they get up is when there's that shoving that occurs. Make it make sense. One push, stab, that's it. And then he runs up. And guess what happened with Austin Metcalf? He fell down the bleachers. He fell backwards. That's why you start seeing the kids going towards the bottom. Because see, now we see in a stadium how easy it is to fall. Stadiums are not designed for these fights like this. Someone is going to fall backwards and stumble down. The stairs are very narrow. You don't have a whole lot of walking space. This isn't meant for people to get up here and fight like hell to the death and let this be the end of it. Are you kidding me? He failed. No one got up. He didn't yell and scream for a coach or any adult out there on the field to come over because he was being jumped. No one else saw it. You would hear some commotion. You would hear people yelling, screaming, break it up. They fighting. This and that, blah, blah, blah. People be filming and recording. You don't see any of this happen. All the things you expect to see when you see a brawl with 3 or 4 big-ass boys that look like grown men. This is the most calm fight I've ever seen in my life. He got stabbed. Now y'all see y'all see people running down towards the bottom. What you see now is people getting up because they realize he got actually injured. And now he knows how to go away. Now he knows how to run away. But he couldn't get his ass up. He walked over here with all these people sitting underneath this tent. He walked over there. He passed by 2 tents to get there. There's a second tent that was brown next to these. He walks over here knowing people sitting here already. They all sitting here. Because for some reason he just had to go to this one. But, I just wanted to do this side-by-side comparison. He said he got jumped. I said no, he didn't, because that's not what being jumped looks like. And what you expect to see in a fight, excuse me, arms thrown at the very least, people standing up. These kids sitting down and were sitting down until they realized Austin Metcalf got stabbed, and then he fell backwards down the bleachers. Because once that momentum, once you fall backwards like that, as big and solid as they said he was, gravity is going to do the rest. And these stairs are too steep, and you're not going to just stop. You're going to stop when you get to the bottom. It's raining. The bleachers are slippery. Ground is wet. And these stadiums are not built and designed for people to be fighting. So you're going to injure yourself even the more falling down the bleachers. No one told him to sit up here. Because he's being jumped somehow. Here's another question. He had a knife. He pulled it out. Why was Austin Metcalf the only one stabbed? When the other 2 or 3 boys allegedly jumping him in his mind in his alternate reality, wouldn't they have been cut and stabbed as well? See, I'm not going to pull a video like that up, but pull up a video of someone having a knife against 3 or 4 people trying to jump him and beat him up. First thing they're going to do is stand up and start swinging violently across anyone coming near them. Someone else is bound to get cut or stabbed or punctured or something by that knife. How do you have 3 or 4 people jumping you and only one person gets stabbed, but no one else got cut or sliced or punctured at all by this knife? How does that work? Wouldn't all the kids so-called jumping him have been cut by a knife? I don't think he would have had the time to stab one child if 3 of them are beating him up while he's sitting down. So shouldn't the other kids have knife injuries to them? Shouldn't they be cut up? Especially on the hands and fists, fingers, arms, face? Wouldn't they have gotten cut? Wouldn't that be the expectation if you got a knife to defend yourself and you're trying to keep 3 or 4 people off of you? You're going to just swing it out and you're not going to care who get cut by it. Because that will be the expectation. You can always look up a video of someone actually defending themselves with a knife, being jumped and beat up by 3 or 4 people. The natural reaction is, I'm just going to cut and swing at anybody trying to come near me if I'm being jumped. Don't care who it is. How do you pick one person out of 3 or 4 people you claim are jumping you while you're sitting? And you stab that one in the chest, but no one else got cut. No one else got sliced. No one else got injured by this knife. And yet they're beating you up. You were in a so-called headlock. When did that happen? When did this headlock occur? Boy, you can't make this stuff up. He pulled out a knife, but only used it on one person, but he said 4 or 5 people surrounded him. But he knew how to get his ass up then. After he stabbed someone using a knife that he ditched because he knew he was wrong. I mean, you wouldn't do that, right? You feel like somehow justified. Why would you ditch the knife? Why didn't he call 911? Why didn't Karmelo Anthony call over a coach or a teacher, somebody, if he felt like he was being jumped and get some help? Why didn't he call the police if he was being jumped? Wouldn't he be yelling, help, help, somebody help get these boys off me? You just gonna sit there and calmly let 3 or 4 dudes beat you up while you sitting down? He didn't get up until he got shoved or shoved back. And then he stabbed Austin in the chest. That's the only time he got up. Meanwhile, 3 minutes later, from the moment he got there to the moment he stabbed Austin Metcalf, 3 minutes passed by. So you mean to tell me you're going to sit there 3 whole minutes in fear of your life and not call the police? You're claiming that you're being jumped, but you did not call the police? You didn't scream for help? No one else, y'all see, no one else is bomb rushing over here. You don't see nobody running over here towards this tent trying to break up anything. 20 witnesses said he was not jumped. Make it make sense. Because, I mean, why didn't he just call 911? Hello, 911, I'm being jumped. Yeah, I'm at a school that I don't even attend, and I went and sat at this tent. I didn't have to sit my black ass at it in the first place. But I'm being beat up, and I fear for my life, even though I refuse to get up after 15 times of them telling me to get up. And then I sat here and told them, touch me and see what happens, punch me, see what happens. You know, because fear for my life and blah, blah, blah. Can you come out and send the police out here? And no, I will not be yelling for coaches and any other teachers or staff to come to my aid and help me out. Okay, I'll see y'all when y'all get here. Bye. I don't sugarcoat over here. I'm not going to no alternate reality. You want to fact check me? Pull up a fight of someone using a knife because they're being jumped by 3 other people. There are plenty of video footage out here where you can see what a real brawl looks like and compare it. I know how they didn't have to use a knife at all. Just fists and arms and, everybody just all over the place because that's what you see in a fight. That's how fights work. This is not a fight. There's no fight. This is not a fight. No teacher came over here to break up anything. These kids, if they were fighting, they would have all been removed from the stadium. Teachers and staff would have called their parents. And depending on if anybody was injured, yeah, they would have called the police. They would have been expelled or at least suspended. There'll be a whole investigation. It's my understanding that Karmelo Anthony did not go to this school. So they definitely would have trespassed him. They would have trespassed him. It was like, this kid is not welcome back on our school grounds anymore. And they would have evicted him and removed him. And anyone else involved in a fight. This is not a fight. And your video evidence simply corroborates 20 witnesses that said he was not jumped. They were not beating him up. He did not act in self-defense. You got kids just sitting here calmly when the expectation is there's a fight happening behind you. You're going to hear a commotion. You're going to see a commotion. You're going to see people running over here trying to break it up. You're going to see teachers and coaches and staff breaking it up. If this boy pulling out a knife, trying to defend himself, multiple people would have been cut and bruised. Because you being jumped, remember? 3 or 4 people coming at you at one time. More than one person would have been cut by that knife. And yet he didn't bother to call 911. He didn't scream for help. None of that shit. One little push, that's it. And then he gets off. And then he decides to run away. Because he could have just got his ass up and sat over here. After daring them to touch him and punch him. See what happens. How are you scared again? I mean, I'll be terrified seeing this. If I'm sitting near this, I'm going to be scared. Because all these big ass grown men, y'all going to crush me if I sit there. You got the women just getting out the way. Poor lady wanted to help, but she couldn't. Because she know these dudes, boy, men, y'all, the men get testosterone up and get a little alcohol in you. Get the strength of 10 men. Everybody playing He-Man right now. All these men, this force is unstoppable. You got college kids that are as big as these grown-ass men. So imagine, look how many people it took to try to break this stuff up. And yes, the police did show up. You can't make this up. Because people think, I expect to see stuff like this in a brawl. Grown men gonna sit here, boy, they're gonna go in. Get a little alcohol. Y'all been having too many beers at a game. You somewhere in the stadium. Many people are bound to fall. But don't you think the people around them would have gotten up? Just like what happened here. Shouldn't we have seen these kids get up? And they up here fighting and brawling out? 3, 4 dudes ganging up on one kid. Are you kidding me? But no one's moving. No arms moving. No items being thrown. You don't see none of that. What kind of fight is this? This is not a fight. He was not jumped. He was not jumped at all. You saw equal force of push and push back, and he stabbed him in the chest, and then he ran away. Because he full of shit. You're not going to unravel 20 witnesses and tell them that what they saw in this reality on earth did not happen. No, you're not going to do that. That's why a jury found him guilty of murder. It's that simple. Meanwhile, I want to get into this right quick. We're going to go back over here to YouTube. Okay. So this is Dennis Sperling podcast, right? And we saw a video with him in it on Willie D live show, something like that. And I just, oh man, I haven't seen this. But the things that he said in the video with Willie D live were on point. There are a couple things he said I didn't agree to. Don't have to. But he's a bar licensed attorney. And he said flat out, we got to bring down the temperature in the room. He told this to Willie D live. Bring down the temperature in the room. Raising a generation of boys that think somehow the answer to anything is to pull out a gun or a knife. They're not taught to de-escalate and walk away, to pick their battles, to use wisdom. Wisdom says if you're in fear of your life, you're not going to sit next to people that are putting you in fear of your life. You're going to get up and get away from them. Your fight or flight response should kick in. That did not happen with Karmelo Anthony. He didn't call the police. He didn't yell for help. He pulled out a knife. He provoked them with touch me, see what happens. Punch me, see what happens. He did not say or do anything that is an indication to the average reasonable person to have anyone believe that he was in fear of his life. You don't even use provocation if you're in fear of your life. He brought a knife to a fist fight or a shove, because that wasn't even a fight. It was a shoving. So I wanted to check out Dennis Sperling's video here. It says 20-minute yelling match. God. All because people want you to tap into some alternate reality and make up stuff in your mind in a video that's not present. That 20 witnesses would never corroborate because he was not jumped. There was no fight. And we know what a fight looks like in a stadium. So hit the phone when you can see in here. Let's get to it.
To the broadcast, sir, what would you like to add to the conversation? Hopefully you have some criticism too.
No reply.
Yeah, I just feel like you made a lot of assumptions, saying with the touch and him admitting that he murdered someone. He didn't admit to the police officer in the police report that he murdered someone, because if you look at the when they had the police body cam, and he said, I didn't, he says, he okay? He asked.
No, he said, it's not alleged. I did it. I mean, what part of that did he miss? Because the cop said alleged suspect. He said, it's not alleged. I did it.
If he was okay. So he was even aware that Austin had died. And so he wasn't admitting to the police officer that he... It
doesn't matter if he knows he died or not. He knows that he stabbed him in the chest. It's insane. He shouldn't have even had a knife on his person in the first place on a school campus. Funny how no one else pulled out a knife and stabbed him back. Because didn't anybody else have a knife on them? No one else had a knife on him. He brought a knife. Now imagine if he had not brought that knife and he wanted to sit here and talk about he's being jumped. That would force him to have to just use his fist, right? And when you talk about self-defense, you have to say that there were no other options or alternatives for me to get to a point of safety. He was told 15 times to get up. He had 15 chances to get to a point of safety. He chose to go to that tent. He chose not to get up. And he chose to fail to de-escalate. and maintain self-control. He chose to pull out that knife out of his backpack. He chose to provoke, and he chose to stab Austin Metcalf in the chest. Does the state of Texas require for you to prove intent for murder in order for you to be charged with that? You just have to prove the murder occurred.
That he murdered anybody. And then, as far as like the touch me, you're saying it in such a monotone way, like he touched me, like, or a cavalier way. But he may have been emotional when he said it, and maybe not picked his words the best way. But he just stabbed somebody, and he's going through a lot of trauma in himself. It takes a lot to stab somebody. It's very intimate. And so a 17-year-old boy who has no history of violence and no criminal record.
You know what's more intimate and more difficult than people underestimate? Choking someone to death. Strangulation. It took a considerable amount of force to plunge a knife through rib cage and muscle and all of that and pierce the heart. But that's exactly what Karmelo Anthony did. He used enough force to shove that knife in that boy's chest. It is irrelevant whether or not he believed that he took his life doing that. It's the fact that you plunging a knife into the chest area, you're bound to hit a major organ. You have lungs, your heart there, major blood vessels, right there, center mass in the middle of your chest. So you plunge a knife there, unless you just completely fail science. I mean, wouldn't you at least think there's a chance it probably went into his heart? And once again, no one else had any other knife injuries. He stabbed one, but he claimed 4 of them were attacking him while they were all sitting down, not throwing any blows or anything.
For him to get to a point where he would stab someone in a public place like that in the chest, he was scared. And so you're picking apart things that a 17-year-old said, but he didn't say like he shouldn't have touched me or in that cavalier way. You don't know how he said it. He could have said it in tears. And what I gather from the police officer's statement, Karmelo was in tears and he was emotional. So I think it was more
emotional. Has nothing to do with the act of putting a knife in someone's chest. What do you mean? What does that have to do with it? He could have got up. What about the 15 times they asked him to get up? Why didn't he get up? Why didn't he move? We see the bleachers here. All the space and opportunity for him to sit anywhere else. Now he knows how to run away after he knew he stabbed that boy. Now he can get his dumb ass up. He could slide over one bleacher. Who told him to go over there? Because, you know, we don't have to believe dumbass lies. No one has to believe somebody called them over there. When you get over there and they tell you this space is reserved for our team here, you can't sit here. Why didn't he just get up? Oh, no, they're interfering with my ability to exist as a black man. Let me pull out my knife. Hell you mean?
It was more dramatic, like he should when he said he shouldn't have touched me. And so I feel like you're just taking a lot of things, just making it seem so simple, or when you say he was sitting down and a touch shouldn't mean you get murdered. We don't know how he got touched because he didn't testify. That's a valid point. That's his defense. That's on his defense. But from what I gathered from a couple people, they said that he was pushed back, and then someone said he lifted him up. And so we don't know what really happened in that tent. But for this to go down like it did, a lot more than a touch happened.
No, it was a shove. They both shoved each other. Yeah, because that's all that happened. Shove, stab. Next thing you know, he done ran his behind up here. He got up there mighty fast. But somehow, 15 times, get up. Please get up. He's not yelling for a coach to come over and help him. He didn't call the police. No one attacked him. No one jumped him. This was unusual and highly unnecessary force. Period. That little shove that happened. Oh no. No, can't make this up. That shove goes so fast because it's not even a fight. Look how fast this shove happens. Push back, stab. Yet no one can see that he actually was able to shove him back. He shoved him back, but then he stabbed him. And he was not in a headlock. See, the proportional force is the shoving back and forth. That's logical and proportional. So you shove me, I shove you back. You know, we're pretty much even. The knife in the chest? No, that's just cold-blooded murder. The hell you mean?
Okay.
Is he done?
So are you saying that Karmelo Anthony didn't murder Metcalf?
Oh, God.
As far as I know, it was self-defense. So,
no. That's not what I'm asking.
He died due to the...
Did Karmelo Anthony plunge a knife in Austin Metcalf's chest and he bled to death? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you kill another person, is that called murder?
Depends.
So it's your opinion?
It depends. It depends.
I'll let you talk, brother. I'll let you talk. You got to answer the questions. If we're going to get there, we got to get there together. So
right
you're saying there's a difference between murder and killing?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Murder is if you kill someone on accident with their car, like you hit and kill a kid in the crosswalk on accident, you kill somebody. You didn't murder them.
Okay. So
now, if I go stalk my neighbor and stab her in the throat, I've murdered her.
Let's stop. Are you saying that Karmelo Anthony accidentally killed Austin Metcalf? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
How do you know this information?
That's based off of the information I have.
No. How do you know this information? Because my understanding is that Karmelo Anthony never took the stand.
Got you. Based off of the information that I have,
from who? Because I could just
from the transcripts.
What transcripts from where?
His trial.
So you have the transcripts from the 4-day trial.
Well, whatever
court reporter put together. That's what you have already.
No. But whatever court team put together, the reports.
Slow down.
We have access to.
Hold on, brother. Slow down. Because the appeal, the appellate, they haven't even paid for the appeal yet, so the transcripts wouldn't be.
Well, I meant what we got from reporters.
You can't cut me off. I'll let you talk. And now I'm going to say this, and then you can speak. So we don't have the official transcripts from the court. So when you say transcripts, what I'm asking you, let me finish, sir. Where did you get this information from that you refer to as transcripts?
From the different reporters from Court TV. I've been following it, and I believe his name is Cole.
The reporting itself is not a court transcript. Those are two totally different things. So he's trying to make this case that, he didn't mean it because he was crying and shit. He didn't know that he had died. So that doesn't make him a murderer. Oh, okay. So Texas law, because none of this stuff flies in court. Intent requirement for murder charges in Texas. In Texas, proof of intent is required for most murder charges, but there are important exceptions under the law because laws are what matter in a court of law. Not what you think words are defined to be. No, laws. Under Texas Penal Code Statute 19.02b1, a person commits murder if they intentionally or, because it can be either or knowingly cause the death of another. Intentional means the defendant desired the death. Knowing means the defendant was aware that their actions were practically certain to cause death, even if they did not desire it. Intent can be proven through direct evidence, such as statements, threats. Touch me, see what happens. Punch me, see what happens. Or circumstantial evidence, such as use of a deadly weapon, prior altercations because he used a deadly weapon. We're following the definition of the law. He brought a knife that he was not supposed to bring to school property and used that knife and plunged it into Austin Metcalf's chest, center mass, where your heart is, where you have major organs and blood vessels. Whether he desired him to die is irrelevant for the murder charge to stick. Hence why the jury found him guilty of murder and not a lesser charge in accordance with the law. Hit the 4, if that makes sense. Because reading is fundamental, and we do it here. I just have an epic way of, proving the point. Because laws are laws. Facts are facts. Neither of those things care about your feelings. Texas does not require premeditation for murder. But evidence of planning can help establish intent. Even if you planned it 5 minutes or 5 days in advance, saying, touch me, see what happens, punch me, see what happens, and you pull out a knife, you're not even trying to match proportional force under the law. You've already made up your mind that you're going to use this weapon that could most likely lead to severe bodily injury or harm up to death on someone if they touch you or punch you. Because you've already put it out there. Touch me, see what happens. Touch me, see what happens. Punch me, see what happens. Okay. So you planned it right there in your mind that you're going to use this knife. And it's not to incapacitate to get away. Because you could just get up and walk away. He had 15 requests to do so. The moment they put his hands on him, he knew he was going to use that knife. Knowing that it was going to cause great bodily injury and harm. And because of where he was stabbed, Austin Metcalf was stabbed. It led to his death. Him crying and talking about, he hit me. He should have touched me. But you told him to touch you. You said, touch me, see what happens. You wouldn't get up. They had to ask you 15 times, you won't walk away. And then the excuse is, I got jumped. I was surrounded. 20 witnesses said, no, that did not happen. Whatever alternate reality you want to go into, we're going to leave you there. But we're not going with you. Because we know what we see in these videos. We know how Brawl looks in a stadium. That ain't it. So, here's where these things matter in a court of law. Even though you have people that act like they somehow can break down a murder trial and they won't read laws. Because laws are laws. Read the law.
Cody, so I've been following his notes.
So you got hearsay. This is hearsay. This is not acceptable.
That's all you have. You have nothing more than what I have.
This is not what the jury heard.
Nope.
You don't know.
I'm going to tell you what the jury heard, sir.
You have hearsay too, so don't act like you have some kind of authority. You don't.
Authority of what? Because I saw someone ask me, how do you know that? What do you mean? You can look it up in Google. Boy, people don't want to read shit. We're raising a generation of people that refuse to do a little research and reading. Reading is fundamental. We're literally raising a generation of people that don't want to read or Google or research or anything. The fact that I had to play 2 videos of a real brawl in a stadium side by side to Karmelo Anthony lying about being jumped is astounding. Because his supporters don't want to do that. Because, what's the worst that can happen? You feel stupid for supporting him and he lied to you all? He lied. It's that simple. He lied. Karmelo Anthony lied. He was not jumped. He was not getting beat up. He was not in a fight. He didn't yell for help. He didn't call 911. He pulled out a knife. He provoked them by saying, touch me, see what happens. Punch me, see what happens. And he stabbed Austin Metcalf in cold blood. And then tried to run away and dished the knife. You in fear of your life, and somehow you're gonna keep sitting there around these people that's scared and you and putting you in fear of your life when you didn't even have to go over there in the first place. So tent number 2 was just unavailable. Can't make this shit up.
Sir,
We got the
slow
same
down.
information.
Sir, no. The jury heard 20 witnesses from the prosecutor. They heard 4 witnesses from the defendant. And based on that testimony, they determined that Karmelo Anthony was guilty of murder.
Right.
That's what they determined. Okay?
Because the law fits with murder. Premeditation is not required, but he intended on using deadly force. And that knife is legally defined to be a deadly weapon. That's it. He admitted to the act and he used deadly force. So the requirements for that law for the charge to stick for murder were fulfilled. Especially when he pulled that knife out of his backpack when he shouldn't have had it in the first place. He could have walked away.
Okay.
You weren't there. I wasn't there. All I'm simply trying to do is explain to you why they arrived at the murder conviction.
You don't know why they arrived at anything. Like it could be all kind of, those people, they all know each other. Those people have to live in that.
Yes, Ninja. He claimed he was jumped. He said that Austin Metcalf, his twin brother, and another dude jumped him. And then they chased him when he ran off. But, you know, as crazy as it is, he's running away. Not one time did they actually catch up to him and put hands on him. Because, you know, we didn't see that. He said he was being jumped right here. Somehow he was being, that was a jump. They shove. He stabbed that boy in the chest. Then he fell down the bleachers. Then he's running off. So even if somebody is pursuing him behind him, they'd never ever put their hands on him. Just the physical touch alone is battery. Battery. You don't even see that. You can't make this up. He running. So, I mean, you know, unless you want to, you got people out here that, boy, they act like they don't know what a jumping looks like. Yeah, Ninja. He said he was jumped. We didn't see nobody jumping him. 20 witnesses said he was not jumped. Video evidence shows he was not jumped. Karmelo Anthony fans are becoming sycophant cult members.
Live in that county. And so
do you have any proof?
It could have been intimidation. It could have been anything. We don't know.
Sir, do you have proof that all these people know each other?
And you don't have proof that they don't.
Sir, you made the accusation that they know each other.
You don't know. What I'm saying is we got the same amount of information and you make a lot of assumptions. You don't have any authority.
Sir, I don't have to prove the negative. All I'm asking you is to answer the question that you presented. You said all of them know each other, and I want the proof that they know each other. That would be great grounds for appeal.
And you don't have proof that they don't.
No, I'm asking you, sir.
Yeah, boy, this stuff would not have a flying court. He's asking, what evidence do you have to prove that they know each other? Because that would be grounds. That would be a great legal argument for the appeal. And this dude is too busy trying to talk over him. He just missed what he just said. He just missed it. It went over his head. And that nose ring he got in his nose. It just went over his head.
And I want the proof that they know each other. That would be great grounds for appeal.
That would be great grounds for appeal. Coming from an attorney that went to law school and this boy did not.
I don't have proof that they don't.
No, I'm asking you, sir. I'm asking you, do you have proof that all of the people know each other? The jury, are you saying the jury knows? They knew each other?
I'm saying that they're all in the same small place.
What?
And to it's something this racially provoking could cause a lot of problems for a lot of people. if they got out of line. And so we got to
Oh, what was all this at when Carmelo Anthony's parents was having Jeff Metcalf removed from a presser where he tried to converse with them, pray with them, and maintain some level of, unity for the community. Because you can't spell community without unity. Oh, man. Gotta get my mom jokes in. Can't spell community without the word unity in it. UNITY. But Jeff Metcalf was removed from a press conference because some fake ass baby shaker minister of justice lied about not knowing him when he did, and then tried to call that inappropriate. You're not supposed to be around them. Says who? So he completely alienated the victim's father. So his whole argument about, well, everybody knows everybody. Clearly they don't. But why would they remove Jeff Metcalf from the press conference? And you're talking about, this, the race baiting is going to stir up the pot, which it does. But why not tell this to Carmelo Anthony's parents? Why they're too busy alienating the victim's father and kicking him out? It's like kicking him out of the equation like he don't exist. What was all this energy at for Carmelo Anthony's parents again?
Gotta call a thing a thing.
I'm gonna ask you again, brother. Do you have proof that all these people, the jury, they all know each other? Yes or no?
I'm talking about the community. It's not. I'm talking as a whole, the community.
Okay. Well, let's try it like this.
What?
So you're saying the
What is
community
he talking about?
wherein Carmelo Anthony lives.
Oh God.
They
Yes,
all know each other. Everybody knows everybody.
pretty much.
But let the prince of the minister of justice, fake ass advocate, tell it like it is. He did not know Jeff Metcalf, because of reasons. It's very possible to live even in a smaller town, a county, a district, and not know everybody there. Is he not going to say anything about Carmelo Anthony being at a school he did not attend? That was not his school. So he's just going to let that just, ignore that? Okay.
So did Austin Metcalf know Carmelo?
So I'm not saying
Yes or no?
every single person. I'm saying like his 1 degree, 2 degree separate.
Respectfully, sir.
Respectfully, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. You're doing.
No, I don't want to.
No, we don't speculate. It's a yes or no. There's a reason why he's asking these very simple yes or no questions. Because this is how it goes in court. You know what I'm saying? That would be objected to. You wanted me to read your thoughts. We're not here to do that. Yes or no? He's sitting here trying to debate an attorney, by the way. This man is an attorney. He's a whole ass attorney. He's a bar licensed attorney and has practiced criminal defense. Go figure. He's asking him, yes or no? Did they know each other? If the answer is no, then everybody does not know everybody in this county or community. Because UNITY?
You know what I'm saying?
Put you on mute.
1 degree separation, 2 degree separation is a small town, and to go against the Grand will cost you.
Texas is not a small town. Now let me go back to you said
Thank you,
everybody
Robert.
knows each other, but
not everybody knows.
When I asked you the question whether or not Carmelo Anthony knew Austin Metcalf, you didn't respond.
What I'm saying, it's not a big. They've had matches together. People know of each other. It's not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? It's a small town. 1 degree, 2 degrees separation. And so if somebody got out of the line, it ain't gonna take long for it to get around town. Who's gonna get the grain?
Let's entertain that line of reasoning. They all know each other. Does that erase the dead body?
No, the boy's dead. But from some of the teammates.
Let it go back.
All right, we got to take a commercial break. Shout out to Wyoming Gal for gifting 5 LLC memberships. Ding, ding, ding. If you receive the membership, make sure you give Wyoming Gal a hearty shout out and thank you. Thank you so much. And shout out to the mods of the LLC. You guys are the best. And I appreciate all of you all. I really, really do. Thank you so much for your support as well. Did I miss Conscious's YouTube channel link? She always gives a shout out to the LLC. I want to make sure I return the favor. Let me know if I can get Conscious's YouTube channel link dropped in the chat. I may have missed it. I'm sorry. That way I can highlight it. Drop it in the chat for me. We had a good time over there yesterday. Hey, Amy, how you doing, honey? I see all of you all tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that like button. I appreciate you guys for coming in impromptu. All right, back to this, whatever this is.
Go back. Can we agree that that Karmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf?
Absolutely. R.I.P. Metcalf.
Okay.
Oh.
So we agree that Karmelo and that.
Yeah, R.I.P. Metcalf. He was 17 years old. He was a minor. He was still a child. You talking about somebody's kid. Woo, that's all. I don't like arrogance and cockiness. It's so dry and nonchalant. And yet it's still, where's all this energy for black on black crime?
That stabbing was resulted in that Austin Metcalf's death, correct?
Thank you so much, Wyoming Miguel.
Okay. So do you think that Karmelo Anthony should be held responsible for that?
From what I understand, it's self-defense. No.
Okay,
Let me no, you're cutting me up. Let me answer you.
Self-defense. All right, you saying it's self-defense. Please explain to me why you believe it's self-defense.
I believe it's self-defense because it was too.
You can't go in it, all this verbose nonsense in court. It will not fly. The judge will be irritated by now. Just as an FYI. If a judge had to hear this, that judge would be so irritated with this boy, he wouldn't know what to do. He's like, can you stop talking over this person and let the counselor ask the question? Yes or no? See, when you go to court, you got to answer yes or no. Can't do all this extra stuff because what they'll do is cut you off. And then you might get objected to for failure to answer if you try to over-answer and over-speak. There's a reason why. It's best to keep it minimal. You have the right to remain silent.
Two of them. Karmelo Anthony, this is above 30. Like, 5'8", something like that. These dudes are like 6 foot, 215.
Huh?
And it was twins. And the way and he was sitting down, they walked over to that man and they were standing over him. And they were they were aggressive with him. And so absolutely they put his hands on him. Austin pushed him. And we don't know to what degree, but it was enough to where that's.
Now, what are we watching? What are they watching? Karmelo Anthony was almost 160 pounds. That's what I'm saying. This is basic information they could just look up. It's a Google search at this point. Shout out to Mind Chaos Bruce. She actually dropped the stats for Austin Metcalf. He is not 215 pounds. Boy, this is something else. So is this who's in the video doing the kung fu? Is this Carmelo Anthony? Or just two random kids doing kung fu? Dennis Sperling, you know his name.
17-year-old boy felt like he had to stab that boy to get him up off of him. And
me too, DeVars.
It was some people say that's not the same kind of force. Well, no, I feel like Karmelo, he evened the playing field. He had two dudes that were way bigger than him in his face.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Ninja.
And pushed him, according to some of the prosecutors on witness, picked him up as if it was a football drill.
What? What is a? Oh, you can't make this stop. This was a week ago, so this was before they released the video evidence. I wonder what he got to say now.
The prosecutors on witness picked him up as if it was a football drill. Jeez. So yeah, it was definitely self-defense.
Just for the folks, these are my two sons here. At the time, they were 15 years old and 14 years old, and they were about 140 pounds each. But go ahead, keep talking, brother. Go ahead.
That has nothing to do with anything.
No, I'm just letting it.
It's comparable with the weight and size. What are you talking about? Visuals help. Visualizing what a brawl looks like helps you to understand the elements of a brawl in a stadium. What you expect to see during the fight, people falling down because the stadium stairs are not designed to really endure people fighting like that. Pushing, shoving, arms and hands being thrown, and liquids flying, objects flying, people kicking and stopping and doing all this stuff, leg, feet in the air. We saw two dudes over on a chair, beating each other up. Like we saw three guys pommel in on one dude. Then you see a swell of people come in trying to break it up. Then you see a bunch of people walk away to get away from it. You see a real fight or flight response. This idiot's talking about what we're seeing has nothing to do with anything. But yet he's trying to show a comparison of what these teenage boys look like in their weight class. He's like, my boys are 140, 150 pounds, but whatever. And that's what these kids look like at 140, 150.
Video play. Please continue telling us.
No, why do we have to see your sons?
Because it's my show.
Right.
I mean, but I'm just saying, I'm asking the question.
Yeah,
why?
Because
that's the answer. It's his show. The end. It's the same thing I say when people come on and talk about why y'all talking about this. Because it's my platform. And I'm queen of YouTube and I run this shit. What?
Because you said we didn't bring up any other cases and we're talking about the facts, but now how convenient you can pull up a video of your kids that have nothing to do with anything. You have a weird bias, bro.
Okay, he's
an attorney.
The whole point is that they're saying that Karmelo Anthony should have been afraid because the other boys were bigger than him because he was only 14 or 15. And I'm pointing out to you all that 14 or 15 years old, and my son is 13 on this right here, and he's bench pressing 205 pounds, and he was only about 150 pounds.
See, he's trying to do a comparison of the weight so you can see what that looks like. I have 17 and 13-year-olds turning 18 and 14. Both of them are bigger than me. I think my youngest is heavier than his older brother. They might be the same weight. You know what's so crazy? My kids are the same height, and they're 4 years apart. And my youngest is slightly bigger than my oldest. And heavier. It's so insane. Like these kids coming out nowadays, it's almost like some sort of mutation happened. We all missed it. These kids come out looking like grown men. Depending on how they carry themselves and how they look and dress and act, you might think they're grown men because they're big and tall. They eat a lot. This boy bench pressing 205 pounds. And Karmelo Anthony was 17, was he not?
At that point. So what I'm saying is size doesn't matter.
It's the
okay?
food.
That's my whole point. And the jury felt the same way. So here's another thing.
No.
Obviously they did. They convicted him, didn't they?
Bro.
Yep.
Size came better. You're good that your sons took karate.
No, it's not good. It's part of manhood training, as far as I'm concerned.
That has nothing to do.
It's one of the things that I think is very important because conflict happens, and you don't want your child to over respond. This is me, by the way, in a match. You don't want your children to act emotional because they've never had to deal with conflict. They've never had to be in a fight. That's why you should train your boys to control their emotions, practice self-control.
Yes, Lord, he said it. Didn't I tell you how this hit the phone? We got to teach our kids to maintain self-control, self-restraint. Learn how to pick your battles. And sometimes it's okay to just walk the hell away. You have the option to walk away. Walk away. Getting angry at every little thing is not worth it. First of all, it's going to raise your blood pressure. Secondly, it's going to lead to something happening with dire consequences. One you might not ever come back from. Murder being one of those things. Karmelo Anthony had zero restraint, no self-control. 15 times being told to get up, And he claims that he was being jumped, but he didn't call out for help. He didn't scream. Oh, it's funny how there was no locomotion, commotion happening where you see 3 or 4 boys beating up one boy. He still sat there. So how do you force yourself on someone and then turn around and say, well, I was in fear of my life. Why didn't you get away from us then? We told you to go 15 times. Why you just didn't leave us alone? Go somewhere else. Go away. You can't be in fear of your life if you sitting here being defiant and they telling you, hey, you got to get up. This is reserved seating. This is not your school or your tent. And we have this area reserved for our team. And then you just sitting there like you hot shit, like you own it. Like he paid the property taxes on that property or something. You can't make this up. No, what does he do? Reach for his backpack, pull out a knife, and it says, touch me and see what happens. Punch me and see what happens. Fighting words, provocation that does not reflect of anyone in fear of their life. When he could have just gotten up and walked away and nothing would have happened to him. Just like he walked his little happy ass over there. He could have just got up when they asked him to get up and walked away. And nothing would have happened. Nothing. Even when they did 2 or 3 works running behind him, nobody caught up to him and put the hands on him. Funny how that didn't happen. Because, for some reason, people want to sit here and talk about how he was just such a threat. Wouldn't this be the opportune moment to sit here and jump on him and beat his ass? Morons coming in my chat talking about the white kids had knives. Where they at? Because you think they would pull them out. All of them would be expelled too. And probably arrested for bringing a knife on school property. He brought a knife to a shove fight. A shoving. It's not even a fight. It was a shoving. That self-defense is stupid. They still ain't whooping his ass. Funny how he's not getting his ass whooped. But he said that they followed him and chased him and all this stuff. He's so in fear of his life and blah, blah, blah. Out of here.
You should also train your sons to be able to deal with physical violence. This is necessary. Part of the issue that we have in the Black community is that we maintain our boy children. We don't actually raise them with the things necessary for manhood. That's part of the problem. Now, this is my son fighting a grown man who's a professional MMA fighter. That's my son in the black. At that point, he was 15 years old, and he beat him. So I don't want to hear about, he was afraid because there was multiple people. He was afraid because they were bigger than him. That's not what I want to hear, and I don't think the jury went for that either. Okay? I'm just telling you what the jury saw. Okay, you might not agree. Let me turn you back on.
Here.
Go ahead. I'll turn you back on. I'm just telling you what the jury said.
Then when is he fighting 4 people? When was there a fight amongst 4 people? When were they fighting? Now you want me to just show a fight of 4 people? We can do that all day. I have no problem because I played 2 videos earlier. If you're just coming in, you're going to have to do a replay in the beginning of the video. I did 2 videos of a real brawl with 4 people fighting, plus some. I mean, because we know what a real brawl looks like. There's more than 4 people fighting here. Look at that. Oh, no. 3-4 dudes on 1 dude. Because that's what a fight looks like. What you mean? This is what you got to have some example to be able to visualize this stuff so you can know what to expect. Oh, no. Look at that. Arms swinging and stuff flying and everybody punching and people falling over chairs. That's a real brawl. This is some kids that are just, like, okay, whatever. We're waiting for a track meet to start. Boy, this is the laziest fight ever. Must be happening in some alternate reality. James, you see people fighting here? Because, we know what a real fight looks like. He being jumped. How's that happening? He's sitting down. Everybody's sitting down. No one's moving. He's not yelling for help. He didn't call 911. He did not get up and walk away. He didn't get up and walk away. He could have got up and walked away. Who's jumping who? 20 witnesses said he was not being jumped. I'm missing the part of him being jumped. Who's fighting? I don't see no arms moving, waving, nobody shoving, pushing, kicking, nobody falling down the bleachers. I don't see none of this. Oh, a shove and shove. He got stabbed. That's it. Shortest fight jump thing ever. And he still did not call 911. He took time to run away and ditch a knife, though. You know, because he was not being jumped. We're not going into alternate.
It's very funny that you mute because you overtalk constantly, and you just
because it's my show. I can keep over talking you, brother. I let you talk the first 5 minutes. You can't over talk me on my broadcast. And if you're not going to answer the questions genuinely and be honest, if I ask you a yes or no question, nobody can hear you. You talking, brother. Go ahead and talk. Go ahead. Let's hear.
Yeah, I'm answering genuinely. It's just not. I'm just not going along. I'm just not letting you punk me.
Go ahead and talk. Go ahead.
Again, your kids learning MMA has nothing to do with Karmelo's lifestyle, and the way you raise your kids.
Clearly,
are they not?
And just so you know,
and that's the problem.
If your kids had that kind of training and the other kid didn't have that training, and your kid made a mistake and hit the other dude in the head,
no, I train my children to walk away.
If he was defending, if he felt like he needed to defend himself, no, you let me talk. Let me talk. Let me talk. You can't handle it. You can't handle it.
You're argumentative for the sake of being argumentative. So there's a problem with teaching your kids conflict resolution to walk away. 15 times you asked to get up and walk away. You can't just do that. You got to reach into your bag and pull out a knife you should not have on school property. Where you weren't being jumped because 20 witnesses all said you weren't being jumped. Video evidence corroborates the witness's testimony. You can't make this up. First of all, James Parker, I don't know who you are. You understand? I'm going to be very clear with you. I don't know who you are. I don't just let people up on my platform. It's not a debate on what I see. Because what we're not seeing is a fight. So you getting up here to say what? To say something it's not being shown in this video? Would you going to get up here and tell me what you see and what I'm not seeing? That wouldn't that last forever? I'm not seeing nobody getting jumped. All these kids sitting down. Because all of a sudden people don't know what fights look like. Because, somehow we don't know what a fight looks like amongst people in bleachers in a stadium. We don't know what none of that looks like. Oh, no. How dare you prove with video evidence later luck of a real fight? Because this is what a fight looks like. You see people falling down and everything. Fights look like this. This is a fight. This is a brawl. What are we doing? Wouldn't that be a jumping you would expect to see? We see 3 or 4 dudes pummeling in on one. When did that happen here? Because video evidence don't lie, and I know what I'm looking at. You getting up here to tell me what I am seeing, and you saying you're not seeing it. Okay. You don't have to agree. See, that's the thing. We can't debate. Because people want you to go to some alternate reality and make up what you're seeing. You're not seeing, I'm not seeing 4 kids jumping him. They all sitting down casually. You would think these kids will get up, try to separate them. You would have seen teachers running over here trying to help out, break this stuff up. Where's the commotion? You don't see no arms moving, no nothing. You're going to sit on these bleachers here calmly. And there's a whole fight going on behind you. 3, 4 boys jumping one. You're going to sit there and just do nothing? They didn't even get up. It's so funny because these kids still didn't get the hell up. Not right away. You still got kids still sitting. This shoving match is something else, ain't it? Where these kids are still sitting here until they realize somebody was hurt. Who's sticking around and they know that there's a fight happening in the stands, in a stadium? These people start clearing the way. This bar right here, people started walking away because they don't want to get injured. They don't want anybody to accidentally punch them or slap them or kick them. These kids not moving at all. This whole time. Y'all remember 3-minute lapse in this video. Because, for 3 whole minutes, they all just sat here. No teachers over here. He didn't call 911. Karmelo Anthony didn't have a cell phone. He could have called 911 and said, hey, help me, I'm being jumped. Here in this reality on earth, no one's being jumped here. Because we know what a fight looks like. They shoved each other. He stopped the boy in the chest, and then he ran away. Meanwhile, Austin Metcalf fell down the bleachers, and he's still running, trying to get rid of a knife. Who's fighting him? I didn't know a shove constituted a whole brawl where 4 dudes are jumping you, like what we see here. Because, this one guy is being jumped. See, you got 3 or 4 dudes like punching down on one. Yeah, that's a jumping. Stop it. And you want to come up here and say what? I'm wrong from what I'm seeing with my own eyes? I'm waiting on you. Tell me what's the timestamp and show me where anybody is jumping on him. At what timestamp did this so-called 4 versus 1 jumping occur? Give me the timestamp. Because, boy, this is the most calm jumping fight ever. No teachers over here. Police ain't called by now. 3 minutes later. Look at God. Won't he do it? 3 whole minutes pass by. I don't see no cops out here. Ain't nobody running over here to this tent. Ain't no arms swinging, no fists swinging, no items moving. These kids still sitting around here calmly. Yeah, did y'all know there's a whole jumping session going on right now? These kids are not running away from this fight at all. That we don't see. The audacity. You want me to see something that it's not happening? What do you mean? What is the timestamp of this so-called 4 dudes jumping on him when he could have got his ass up? When did this happen? That 4 versus 1 fight must have happened on another planet. Tavares, maybe we got to go to Mars for real to see this fight. We got to see it from another planet in an alternate reality. I don't have X-ray goggle visions, to see aliens or anything. We got to put on our alien glasses, Luxus, to see a whole ass fight that all these Karmelo Anthony supporters are watching that we don't see at all. Because, you just can't make this shit up. What does that happen? What's the timestamp of him being jumped? Because we saw a shove of equal force. He shoved, he got shoved back. That we did see. Look at that. Push. And next thing you know, he up these bleachers. Lord have mercy. Yeah, because he got a whole fight. James said that he's getting in the fight, getting beat up on. Y'all ain't know that? They want us to believe what they're telling us, and we don't have to. We don't have to agree with what you thought you saw versus what I'm looking at. We don't have to agree on that shit. What's wrong with you? As if James pays my bills. The audacity. Can't make this shit up. Oh, you don't agree with me? Something wrong with you. I don't have to agree with you. Boy, my alien glasses are not strong enough. They haven't arrived yet. James, I'll have to order some alien goggle visions to be able to see whatever the hell you're seeing, because I have to be in an alternate reality to see 4 boys jumping on one, and he still didn't call the cops. He didn't yell for help. No one's helping him. Funny how none of these kids got up and actually helped him at all. None of these kids are jumping up to help Karmelo Anthony at all. They didn't break up a fight. None of that shit happened because it didn't happen. So funny how none of that stuff is happening. Yeah, it's not happening. Where y'all see that at? What's the timestamp, James? Wow. Because you just can't make this shit up. He pulled out a knife and stabbed him in the chest. What was he being beat up at? How did that beating go? I'm curious to know that. I didn't see any injuries to his face, eyes, none of that. Head. They didn't take any photos of Carmelo Anthony's injuries to his face or head. Because if you notice, he was sitting down the whole damn time. He was sitting down the whole time. So for 3 minutes, he was sitting there, allegedly letting 3 or 4 boys beat his ass, and he didn't have any injuries that would be visible to the reasonable viewer. Police didn't take any photos of his banged up head and face and eye. He should have black eyes and everything. His nose wasn't broken. So how did they do this, James? They beat his ass while he was sitting down? So all these kids sitting down, somehow they beating his ass. And yet no one ran over here to break up this imaginary fight.
You
can't handle the heat. You're gonna who's over talking who?
Who's winning this argument? Who do you think a parent is going to listen to? You or me?
Hopefully not you.
No, hopefully not you. Because you're giving them bad advice. It's an emotional.
Sir, I don't know your track record.
He's being emotional now. He can't even stop talking over the dude. He's a whole ass attorney, by the way. Because in the court of law, no one cares what this guy is saying. No judge would agree with him. He's a whole ass attorney. And he's trying to tell him, you got to have some self-control and restraint. Teach your kids how to handle conflict resolution and all of that. Because that's what the judge and jury will be looking for. How do you handle yourself in situations like this? Is this a pattern of behavior? Are you one where you bully or you get bullied? They look at the psychological factors in a murder trial, especially involving minors. Did y'all know that? See, when you haven't gone to law school, you don't know how this stuff works. Then you're sitting here making a moot point against an attorney who went to law school and they know exactly what to argue. He can't even answer yes or no questions, because of reasons.
I just see.
I'm a lawyer and I've been practicing law 26 years.
Only thing I got from you is that you know how to manipulate, and you're not even good at it. You're a master manipulator. You change the rules, but in the court.
How do you change the rules? See, laws don't change because, laws are laws. This didn't change because Dennis Sperling is making a valid point about showing restraint. This law did not change. Texas Penal Code Statute 19.02B1 is still a law in effect. This law didn't magically change because Dennis Sperling had a debate with someone that's not reading laws. He used deadly force. So the murder charge stuck because these two requirements is or. It don't even have to be both. Intentionally or knowingly cause the death of another. That's murder. Legally defined to be in a court of law. And this boy still has no point to prove. Because you can't make the shit out.
In the court of law, you're not allowed to change the...
Does not mean they're wrong. There's a young black boy sitting in prison who's going to be there at least 17 years before he gets an opportunity to come up for parole. And everybody in the black community wants to blame me for pointing out what the jury said and why they did what they did. You got your black.
You don't know why they did anything. You made a lot of assumptions. You had the same amount of information.
Black behind, but wanted to run up next to them white folks and live in their communities, and then you wanted to go out there and act like you could just do anything, and they're already looking at you sideways. You can't see that little boy. You gonna tell your children that they can get away with what white boys get away with? Is that what you're gonna tell your children in this country that we live in? Is that what you're gonna tell your children?
I ain't telling.
I would tell mine.
Oh, you answering your own question, huh?
Absolutely right. That's not what I'm gonna tell mine.
You answer your own question. I mean, who are you teaching to? Are you actually trying to explain it to the audience, or are you just hearing yourself talk?
You can keep giving the bad advice.
I'm not buying what you're selling, brother, and it's kind of sus to me. It seems like you.
So I guess his whole point is, if someone shoves you, you got to stab him in the chest. And then, get mad and cry racist when you get charged with murder. Even though he shouldn't have had that weapon on school property. And that was not his school. So we're not going to teach our boys to maintain some level of self-control? Is that it? No. Don't be strong enough to be able to do a fist fight or a couple karate moves. You got to pull out a deadly weapon, take their life because they shoved you. The shoving thing is something else. And they just don't want to accept the fact that Karmelo Anthony lied. He lied. He was not being jumped. He lied. What are injuries to his face? I want to see photos of Karmelo Anthony's injuries from being jumped by 4 boys. Because the police would have taken photos of his face and head, neck, anything else. 4 boys beating on you and you sitting down. All of them are sitting down. 4 boys beating on you and all y'all sitting down. Somehow that happened. Yeah, but you didn't incur any injuries. Karmelo Anthony was not injured in this non-existent fight. Funny how he didn't get any injuries. Wouldn't you expect to see some nodule on his head or something? Some bruising on his face? Busted lip? We didn't see any of that. Anybody see any injuries to his face or head? Anyone seen any photos of Karmelo Anthony's injuries to his face or head? Because I didn't see any of that. The police would have taken photos. You've been in a fight. You're going to look like you've been in a fight against 4 other boys. None of the other boys were injured by a knife either. Because you think he would have just used that to his advantage. He already had the upper hand with the deadly weapon. But what were the injuries to Karmelo Anthony's face and head? Because he got beat up, apparently. Somehow. In an alternate reality, he got beat up. What were those police photos? They would have taken of his face and head. With all these injuries. Maybe they exist on Mars as well. The injuries exist on another planet.
Auditioning.
There is a lot of
seems like you're auditioning for a master, bro,
and have lost their and end up incarcerated because they responded emotionally. And that's what we saw happen to Karmelo Anthony. He took it too far. It's a lot of black boys back in the day. You step on somebody's shoes and they shoot you. Overreacting, emotional control. This is the issue that we're dealing with. Now, I'm not saying that little white Austin neck.
And I'm telling you something right now. I don't give a damn about race. There should be an outcry just to teach young men to handle themselves like young men. You feel like you about to get in a shoving match with somebody, then use your fist at the very least. But why is a knife necessary? How do you walk away from a fight? You have not been injured at all. You didn't even have a scratch. You don't have any punches on your head. Nobody knocked you out. Nobody broke your nose. Nobody popped you in the lip. You don't have a black eye. Not one scratch or scuff mark on your head or face because you were sitting down the whole time. Everybody sitting down around them. Not how fights look. That's not how fights look at all. This is not the example. This is what Dennis Sperling is saying. This is not the example you want to set. You gotta learn how to de-escalate. Except here, well, y'all see somebody pull out a knife. Nobody got stabbed in the beating of this video. Who pulled out a knife and got stabbed in the chest? Because see here, I would rather, and I hate, like I said, I don't condone violence. But I'd rather just see the good old-fashioned fist fight and everybody walks away alive without a stab wound in the chest than for somebody to be dead because somebody brought in a weapon. And they couldn't throw some fists. They just pulled out a knife and started stabbing people. Now, one time, will you see anything regarding a knife being used? You got 2 dudes hanging over the chair. Look at this shit. Ain't nobody trying to help them up or nothing. Because you know why? These other men like, y'all get your asses up. We're not teaching them to be tough at all. And yet it's still, why didn't Karmelo Anthony call 911 when he got up? He can get his ass up and go run away, but he couldn't dial 911 in the process. Now, I'm going to sit where I fear for my life. And they're going to tell me 15 times to get up and please move. And no, I'm not going to get up and move at all. I'm just going to dare them to touch me, see what happens. Punch me, see what happens. Did he get punched? Because, you know, the police would have photographed that injury. Brought a knife to a shoving match. He got his ass on in. And even if somebody wanted to run up to him and whoop his ass, they didn't. None of those dudes over there in that tent never came out and put hands on him. This entire time, he was able to be wide open. You tell me why such hesitancy? If they wanted to whoop his ass, why not just go whoop his ass? Because right here, these dudes were fighting to beat each other's ass. They weren't playing. They didn't waste time. They didn't waste time at all. They just got to it. Look at that. You got people being pulled away. Do you think they wasted time on this? Y'all see how fast this fight started? In bleachers. People falling down because, you know, this stuff wasn't designed for fights like this to happen. Everybody's supposed to be sitting their asses down enjoying the game. People falling all over the place. You don't teach your kids self-control, self-restraint. This will be them as adults. Except, I guess half these people will be laid out with stab wounds to the chest. Because you're always going to have that one. Let me bring a weapon. I'm not fighting anybody. I'm just going to stab them to death. What you mean? No one got stabbed in the beating of this brawl. You can't make this up.
Cap wasn't an asshole. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you have to comport yourself in a way in which you stay your black behind out of jail in the grave. That's what I'm trying to explain to folks. Now, I can talk to you about the law. I can explain to you what the jury did, but since we can't have that conversation, let's just have some basic common sense. If somebody pushes you, you can't kill them. If somebody pushes you, you can't stab them. You can't shoot them. You can't hit them upside the head with a bat. Only a guy.
Exactly, because it's called proportional force in accordance with the law. Your self-defense still needs to be reasonable. And you need to prove that you're defending yourself. You don't say, touch me, see what happens, punch me, see what happens. That is provocation. No one provokes if they're in fear of their life. It is the absolute dumbest thing to do, and it's antagonistic. And it would not fly to the reasonable people sitting in that jury or the judge. Go figure. You don't provoke if you're in fear of your life. You get your ass up and walk away from the people you claim to be afraid of. Do you not? Karmelo Anthony didn't scream for help or call the police at all because, you know, he's still running away and not dialing 911. He didn't even get treated for this so-called imaginary fake-ass fight that did not happen. It's something else, ain't it? No one is still beating his ass either. Who's jumping him? Well, I want to see the photos of him with injuries to his head and face. Because they weren't standing up brawling like, you know, we see in a real brawl. Like, they weren't doing none of this shit. So when you have injuries to your head and face, you getting punched on and hit on and you sitting down, yeah, you will have injuries to your head and face.
Damn fool would advise children that that's acceptable. How many children get put on the schoolyard every day? Are we gonna tell our children that if somebody pushes you, you can kill them because your ass was scared?
Well, we both can agree that the schoolyard ain't what it used to be. Kids got guns.
Look, man.
And they shouldn't have it. That's the point. They should not have guns or knives, especially on school property. And the police can enforce that by locking their ass up if they get caught with a weapon. There are plenty of kids that have gone to jail for bringing a weapon, a deadly weapon, to school property. They were arrested and charged with that. And then they get expelled from the school. Same thing, you know, ironically would have happened if it were a brawl fight. 4 dudes jumping on one. They would have been all suspended and expelled. And yet it's still, even when he ran away, nobody chased him to actually tackle him and beat his ass. Because they could have, but they didn't.
Look, man, this is the suburbs we talking about, man. We're not talking about
where all the mass shootings happen. What are you talking about? People trying to when you gonna let somebody else talk? You get to hear yourself every day, bro. You hear yourself every day. You say you wanted a conversation and you can't handle it. You don't have the tools.
Representative of the wrong direction that the black community has been headed in for the past 60 years. It's emotionalism. You cannot stab somebody because they push you, or you will go to jail for 35 years. Is that clear? Has that message been sent? If you stab somebody because they push you, you will go to prison for 35 years. That's
maybe if you're a little black boy, but
yeah.
For that boy,
oh my God! Oh, where's all this energy at for black on black crime? I'm gonna pull up something so y'all can understand why I keep saying this. Cause boy, this is something else. This is something else. I don't get it. Where's all this energy at? For black boys here. For black on black crime. Where's it at? I don't want to share this with y'all. Because I'm just trying to figure out, like, damn it, where's all this energy at when stuff like this happens? You got this 15-year-old that shot and killed his father in the head while he was in bed. After his father threw him a 15-year-old birthday bash. And the father hadn't been too long, got out of prison. Got himself together, got a house. Has his own business. He was a barber. And had his 15-year-old son move in with him. Got him back on track with his grades. This boy was getting arrested for trying to break into a couple cars or steal a couple cars with 2 other little boys. 13, 14 years old, 11, 12, 13, 14 years old. So his dad gets out of prison. He's like, oh, hell no. You not, because see, parents, we want our kids to be better than us. Not to be like us, to be better than us. And this man got out of prison, got his life together, and immediately took his oldest son in because he knew his son was getting in legal trouble. Got his son away from bad influences, got him back on track with his grades and with school, and was trying to get him to understand you don't want to end up in my position where you're going to prison for years at a time. I want y'all to pay attention to this. Where's this fake ass minister of justice at when stuff like this happens between black people? Here you have a father and son.
This holiday season. Exciting gifts.
Hold on.
Is one of your favorite plays?
Yeah.
Ready to go? You gonna dance? You gotta dance. You gonna dance? You gonna dance to go?
I have to mute this music.
Right, Daddy, I got something for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. Y'all see my son, man. You heard me? Talk your shit. You can talk your shit in this bitch game. You heard me? What you trying to do? You trying to talk that shit? This
To our newsroom within the last 30 minutes, St. Louis County Police investigating a deadly shooting in North County. Officers were called.
Yeah, you see this minister of justice going to St. Louis to fight for this young man to get some justice. His own son took his life. You know, because black on black crime gets ignored like hell, don't. Like, you can't make this stuff up. So when stuff like this happens, where's all that energy at? This is about 15 years old.
To a home on Glengarry Road in Glasgow Village just before 5 tonight. They found a man shot to death. Police are asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers.
Family, let's use this.
Well, oh man, you know what's so crazy about this? No one should have to provide information. Where all these activists and advocates and the minister of justice, where the hell they at? His own son did this to him.
Video to keep it real without and no business our parents. Let's just say that. But some might say thinking about it just as bad. Well, a couple of days ago, a 15-year-old from St. Louis, he did just that. Carried out what was going through his undeveloped brain at the time. Killing his dad less than a month after him throwing him a surprise birthday party. Not to mention, his dad wasn't even home for a year after doing 5 years
in prison. He was 5 years in prison, had been out less than 1 year, managed to get out, get himself together, and actually move his son in to get his son back on track with school and to keep him out of trouble. His dad throws him this 15-year-old birthday bash. Less than a month after that, shoots and kills his own father while his father was in the bed.
For a case we'll later talk about. But after doing my research to bring it to you guys' attention, checking out some old lives, even the surprise birthday party, his son demeanor, and even quotes that was mentioned in his status, I think we might all.
That's one. He had 2 little brothers too. Not only did he take his dad's life, he took his little brother's father away from them as well. They deserve the right to grow up with their father in their life. He might have missed out on 5 years of his son's life, but he missed out 5 years of all his kids. And his father wanted him to be better. His father wanted him to be better than him. If we don't teach our kids to have restraint and self-control and to be able to pick your fights, to learn how to walk away, to understand that your parents love you when they're putting in measures in place, to discipline you. Spare the rod, spoil the child. The last thing you want to do is spoil your kid, especially when they're walking around here nowadays thinking they're entitled. The hell you entitled to you ain't worked for. When you don't pay no bills. And see, the kid actually got better in school. Grades started improving and everything. Father, he just consistently doted on his boys. He had 3 boys. 15 years old was the oldest.
All agree this son has some type of animosity towards his dad. 14, just turned 15. Dad gone for 5 years. 9 to 14, that could be tough on any young kid growing up without his dad. But it's no excuse, because some of us had our dads in the free world and he still wasn't around. But before we go over this one and pay our respects, I want you guys to remember.
It's the kid at the birthday party.
I just give you the story. So with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll jump right to it. Family Jonathan Brown, also known as John from St. Louis. He's a father of 2 young boys. His oldest, as mentioned, is 15. In 2019, John got arrested after running a stop sign and fleeing police. According to his indictment, in March of 2019, St. Louis police officers attempted to initiate a traffic stop after observing a vehicle run through a stop sign. The vehicle led the officers on a high-speed chase through St. Louis, but eventually stopped in a residential neighborhood. John and another man exited the vehicle and fled on foot. The officers found John hiding in a nearby residence. A witness saw John drop an object into a trash can while he was running away. The officers searched the trash can and retrieved a firearm. Before this incident in 2013, John had obtained a felony conviction in Missouri for resisting arrest. John pled guilty to unlawful possession of a firearm as a previous convicted felon.
Yeah, because you cannot have a weapon as a convicted felon. This is the stuff that he tried to steer his son away from. Because his son started getting in trouble at 11, 12 years old while he was incarcerated.
The district court determined a
What
base
exactly
offense
is that?
level of 20 under the sentencing guidelines. The determination turned on the court's conclusion that Brown's prior conviction for resisting arrest by using or
exactly
threatening
that?
use of force was a crime of violence. Based on total offense level of 20 and a criminal history category, the court calculated a guideline range between 70 to 80 months in prison. As mentioned, he ended up doing 5. He came home in early 2025. Now, as you can imagine, his oldest son, when he went in, was 9. Now he a teenager, 14, about to be 15 later that year. His birthday, December 9th. And on December 8th, 2025, John went to Facebook and made some posts that I think we should shine light on. He first talked about how long he was home. Quote, I've been home 276 days today. When I say from the N's to the B's, if an MF don't get nothing from you, from the hotter MF, I want to see you lose. 2026, don't come around me if you don't know what loyalty is. F love. He also wrote in the following post, my son finna be 15 tomorrow. Thank you, Lord, for letting me be with my son. Next year, big.
This man loved his son. Where are the advocates at? Where's that minister of justice? Trying to get justice for his father. And the 2 boys he left behind. Because the 15-year-old took his life while he was in bed. So I thought they believed in getting justice. Anybody hearing about this in the news? It's so crazy. The Austin Metcalf Karmelo Anthony case would not be this widely known had it not been for people coming into the situation, making it about race. Here you have a scenario where a father and son, both black, came out of prison, took care of his son for less than a year, threw him a birthday party, out of nowhere, he shoots his dad in the head while he's in bed. Where you get the firearm from is the best question of all. Why is this not in the news? Where's the minister of justice in this case? He was asked in that interview with that Rain dude. What was that? The Rain interview or whatever? Are you this vigorous with these black on black crimes? Mind you, now that fake ass baby shaker minister of justice reached out to Karmelo Anthony's parents. They didn't reach out to him. He reached out to them. Why didn't he reach out to the family of this dad that lost his life to his own son? Because, you know, we care about, where's Umar Johnson at? You care about black boys. Here you go, Umar, you dumb Oompa Loompa. Dumbass Oompa Loompa couldn't reach out to the father, the family that this father lost his life by the hands of his own son. You hear Umar Johnson talking about this? But you got the police pleading with the public, calling with any tips. Where all these so-called activists and advocates and minister of justices or whatever fake titles they want to come up with, where are they at?
16, it's going down. I did notice he was a local barber as he posted his son and the shop location he worked at. And on December 15th, 2025, he wished his son a happy birthday. Quote, yeah, I wish my son an MFing birthday. Happy birthday, son. You big 15 now. Daddy love you. Man, you need to grow up and stop being shy. Love you. Doing all that crazy talking like I don't do nothing for my boy. Give the world to my little boys. And that quote, doing all that crazy talking like I don't do nothing for my boy, would explain his demeanor during his surprise birthday party from his dad, which this picture was taking place from. Check it out.
Let me see. Hey, turn around, Fat Daddy. Okay. Go on in, Fat Daddy. I'll leave your glasses on. Go ahead. I can't see. Yes, you can. Shut up.
I'm gonna mute it because of the music. Y'all see how he going into this birthday party? I mean, you know, it makes you wonder if the money is real or fake, but okay. Let's just assume all this money is fake, right? Fact that boy's dressed head to toe. He doted on his kids. He understood, if I don't make sure my boys get out the streets, they can end up in the position I'm in, facing 5-6 years in prison. He didn't want that for him. The music's still going. Jesus Christ. Where the activists at? The advocates. Oh boy, don't nobody want justice for this father that lost his life? You gotta remember now, he had little brothers. When he took his dad's life, he took the father away from his brothers. That's not fair to them. Oh, God. You see this child, the look on this child's face. I mean it. Look at that. He don't happy at all. You don't see any of these so-called actors out here trying to figure out what was his motivation, what happened. Your daddy went in and got you squared away with school. Threw you a birthday party. I wish I had a birthday party like this at 15. And I was able to dress to the nine, head to toe in designer clothes. 15 years old, I had to look forward to summer jobs to buy myself some Air Force Ones. I didn't get spoiled like this. This is crazy. He is not happy. Whether he's resentful of his dad being in prison for 5 years or not, at the end of the day, who gave him the right and the authority to take his father's life? His father got him away from these badass kids he was starting to hang out with. It's like he's not happy. Oh God, this music still going. Look at all this. Yeah, he's like, depending on who come around, he might smile. Okay. He ain't barely want his dad to touch him. Nobody's trying to get down to the bottom of this, though. Find out what was going on with this young man to make him want to take his father's life like that. Why his father is vulnerable in bed. Stupid music.
Daddy, I got something for you.
Chickens and rallies do
Lance, come here.
combo just $8 over a quarter pound of beef and beer cheese on a fresh. They don't know.
Come here, Fat Daddy, I got something for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, y'all. See my son, man. You heard me? Talk your shit, talk your.
Yeah, music still going. Hey, money just laid out on the table. Can't make this up. That child like, ugh. He didn't even smile. He cracked not one time, crack a smile. Lord have mercy. The activists gonna go up here and figure out what was going on or what? That Minister Justice not gonna show up? He served food, all kinds of
It could possibly, more than likely, be animosity towards his dad. But nonetheless, he showed up for his son. But a couple weeks later, on January 7, 2026, North St. Louis County say a shooting happened in the 10800 block of Glengarry Road just before 5 p.m. Police said they were called for an unsuspicious death. And when they arrived, they found 34-year-old Jonathan Brown fatally shot. May he rest in peace. And love and condolences to his family.
Just into our...
Yeah, because see, that's crazy, right? But you think, boy, these actors will be all over this. 35-year-old black man loses his life to the hands of his own son, who had just turned 15. Where is the no justice, no peace chant for this? Because, you know, that Dominic Alexander dude, the Minister of Justice, where he gave himself that fake ass title. He knows he can't go out talking about how things are racist. Raise over $600,000 in GoFundMe. Not when it's black on black crime. This is just an example. Just an example of this.
Stoppers at 866-371-TIPS.
They looking for tips. They want people to call in the Crime Stoppers.
Less than a week later, the homicide investigation in St. Louis County, an arrest was made January 12, 2026. Most didn't expect who the suspect would be.
Police announced they arrested a teenager in connection to a deadly shooting in Glasgow Village. This happened on Glengarry Road just before 5 last Wednesday. St. Louis County Police say they found a man dead in a home. A 15-year-old suspect is now facing second-degree murder charges.
John's 15-year-old son. He was arrested in connection with the homicide and now in custody at St. Louis County Family Court. He faces charges of murder in the second degree and armed criminal action. Because of his age, further details about the case is not available at this time and due to an ongoing investigation. In fact, we laid the facts on the table, and until more information be put out, I think it's imperative that we hold fast on the judgments.
Yeah, because this happened at the beginning of the year. You don't see any protests or anything for this to be brought to justice, do you? Funny how that Minister of Justice can't seem to get here. You don't see crowds of people going up here to try to fight for the father's rights to have justice served. Whatever was going on with this young man, he had no right to take his father's life. He took the father of his two little brothers away from them. And they may grow up to be resentful against him because of that. Absolutely insane. Just so y'all can see, there are black on black crimes happening out here. I don't hear uproar over that. And I've been following this case the whole time. That's why I was so able to easily Google it. Because I actually been following this case. Spoke about it on my second channel. Austin Metcalf, Karmelo Anthony can give me 14, 15,000 views in a video. Talk about this. Barely cracked 100. I talked about it because you don't think this father and the two sons he left behind deserve justice? When did justice start seeing color? Isn't it supposed to be colorblind? Can't make this up. So that's all I got, y'all. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I know it was late and last minute, but tomorrow's Friday. I will be back at it again with an Oompa Loompa video because Umar's an idiot, as well as Candice. We'll do her tomorrow and do a marathon. We have collabs coming up in the beginning of July with Ryan Morrow, with Eden Marie, with Johnny Walker Dredd, and I'm excited about it. And yes, I'm going to keep talking about this because Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony, because no one's in the mood to dip into some alternate reality to see things that did not happen. You're not going to convince 20 witnesses to contort their reality and to lie about what they did not see, which was 4 dudes jumping on one person. And he still did not manage to call the police or show any visible damages or bruises or punch marks, black eyes, broken nose, busted lip, lumps, nothing to his head or face. Ironic. So y'all tune in. Thank y'all so much. Hit the like button. Y'all hit that like button. Stop playing around with it. And make sure you guys go check out there's Conscious YouTube channel link. Shout out to you, Conscious, and your mother. I hope all is well with you. Thank you so much, you all, for the support. Hype this video up. I did a post on how to hype up this video when it's done. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.